Hey guys,
Hey.
welcome to WNL Review. Today we are reviewing the movie The Strangers. It was made in 2008 and it's rated R. And it was directed by Brian
Bertino.
What she said. And it stars Liv Tyler and Scott Speedman. And it was inspired by two real-life events that, happened. They were, people were harmed. We'll just say that.
Yeah.
And with that being said, I'll let my mom explain the movie.
Okay, so first off, let me just say this. This is not a movie that I would recommend for youngins. For little children under the age of 10 or even probably not until you're at least 17-ish. Maybe 16 might be a push. But it's definitely not for little ones. It's for sure. It is very bloody. It's very spooky, and it starts with Kristen, who's played by Liv Tyler, and James, played by Scott Speedman, and they go to a cabin or a home, a family home, just to kind of regroup and kind of get their thoughts together and everything. He had asked her to marry him. She said no, and it was kind of like, I don't know, they just went ahead and decided they were going to take this time to be away from friends and family, but be together. Anyway, as they're there, there is a knock at the door, and this is when all hits the shan, so to speak. This girl knocks on the door and asks if Tamara is home, and they're like, I think you got the wrong house, and she's, oh, okay. And you think that's the end of this girl, but she keeps reoccurring, resurfacing, coming back to the door, asking for the same person. And at some time later on, Kristen is by herself at the house because her boyfriend, we'll just say boyfriend, has went to the store, and I don't know, he must have went to Mount Everest to get the cigarettes he needed to buy. I don't know, because it took him an obscenely long time to get home. Anyway, back to the story. So she gets a knock on the door, and it's the same girl again, wanting to know if Tamara is home, and she's like, no, you've come here 2 or 3 times now asking. And then she starts to realize that there's something a little sinister going on, and she starts to try to call her boyfriend. Her phone is like just about dead, and so she goes to plug it in, and there's a knock at the door, and there's knocks at the different parts of the house, and she's really freaked out, and she finally gets a hold of her boyfriend and says, can you please hurry up and get home, because I'm really freaking out. That girl came back again, and I'm here by myself, and there's noises outside, and he's, he kind of doesn't really believe that it's all that big a deal. He just kind of, because he's kind of a jerk. Anyway, he finally makes it home, and he sees she's just like in shambles. She's just shaken, and he doesn't know why she, what could have transpired. And she, she's trying to tell him, this girl came, but there was also other people, and there was this other just weirdness. And so in the meantime, they get a another knock at the door, and it's the same blasted girl come back again. And except this time they go further, and they try, and they end up breaking into the house. At one point, actually, I take that back. They had broken into the house when the girl was there by herself, when Kristen was by herself. And she finds this out because her phone had been thrown in the fireplace because it was cold. They had a fire going. And she comes back into the room only to find that her cell phone that she'd been charging is no longer. It's a smoldering mess in the fireplace, and so, yeah. So that was kind of a big problem. She had no way to call out and for help, and they're in the middle of nowhere land. They didn't know the people around them in the neighborhood that they were at, that they were staying at this place. They didn't know anybody, so this was kind of not a good thing. Anyway, he starts to realize that what she said is true, and that there's something really bad going on. This person's really strange, and anyway, he's like, okay, we gotta, we'll be all right. I've got a gun, and I can take care of us and everything. And in the meantime, his friend, who James has been trying to call, comes upon James's car that has been totally destroyed, and he comes to the house and walks in, and unfortunately James didn't know it was his friend, and he shoots him, and it was very sad. And it's very you're just like, these people need to go away. Like, really bad. The end of the movie, Kristen is found by these two young men, two boys. They were going door to door, and they happened to this house. And what was even more scary about that is that they had come upon these bad people that did this bad, awful, nasty thing. And they even, were like, took the paperwork.
Pamphlet,
thank you. Anyways, that the young men had, and, saying that they do bad things sometimes and all this stuff. The adults that... Anyway, these boys come across this house where Kristen and James are. And Kristen survives. Doesn't say anything about James. Again, this is inspired by true life events. This person, Kristen, and this person, James, are not real. They're fictitious people. But the stories that is involved are very, very real. Anyway, it is very bloody. It's very spooky. It's very scary. And if you've ever had anybody come to your house and knock at your house in the middle of the night or morning or whenever, and you don't know who in the Hades they are, that's pretty darn scary. So, yeah, I would definitely say that if you are a person that doesn't like true life, true story type crime things, then don't watch this. If you're not averse to watching something like that, then it's probably okay. I can't think of what else to say. I do have a bit of trivia for you. Liv Tyler is the daughter of a famous singer. If you know who that singer is, leave that person's name in the description, in the comments below. I always say the wrong thing. Anyways, with that, I will let my daughter tell you what she thought of the movie.
I thought it was a really good scary movie. Definitely a slasher, so if that's not what you're into, don't watch it. I will say it was very good. They did a very good job with like all the special effects and everything, in my opinion. I thought it was a very good storyline. I don't think what was done was good by any means, but the way in which they did the film was very good, and I'm glad that we watched it because it was actually one of the very few good horror movies and stuff. So I'm glad that we watched it. But other than that, I don't know what to say. But thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you to Nate and Marion, also known as Life Unboxed, and That Nate Guy on YouTube. We appreciate you guys both so much. Also, if you guys are interested in joining our Patreon, the link is in the description box. Thank you to all of our subscribers. We appreciate you all. And with that being said, guys, we're going to talk to you next time. Bye!